now use the roll-lock just because it's got a sharper edge. All right, so right now I went ahead and primered it just because it's easier to primer now than when it's up. So right now all I'm doing is just really just marking it, grinding it, cutting it a little bit just to get a good fit, and then I'll go ahead and tack it into place and weld it up and blend it, etc. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock some paint off so I can get so I can tack it in a couple of spots. I'm just using a roll-lock disc. I mean, that's just gonna knock the paint off, and it's not gonna gouge into it or nothing else. All right, now, so I got it really close where I want it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put me a couple of tacks in. That'd be easier to go ahead and hit it flush to the body. You know, it's really thin, so you really got to dial your welder back, right? I mean, she's like paper thin. Right. Paper thin, but that's all right. We know what we're doing. Built not bought. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and blend everything in so I got it tacked good. It's really close as far as the grinding and the fitment goes. So I'm just gonna blend it in, and then we'll go ahead and finish welding it up and blend it all and make it look just absolutely perfect. All right, so I got some blending done. It's really, really close. I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up and get it blended. That way it'll be seamless and nobody will see a seam, especially me, right? And then we'll go ahead and I got the vents tacked in. I gotta finish welding them up and blend them in. That's gonna take a little bit because this thing is, I gotta get up there and sit down and etc. But hey, we're getting close. Now you can all see. Now imagine if this is all teal and then I got my scoop sticking out. That's what it's going to look like. It's just going to look like it was from the factory. It's not going to look notched, or it'll look notched, but it'll look like it was done from the factory when it's all said and done. It'll all be teal, and you won't be able to see any of the seams, etc. when I'm done. All right, most of the blending is done. I got a very small pinhole in the weld right there. One really small one right there. I'll go ahead and get that, and a little bit of blending there. But now you can see, when it's all said and done, see that? Seamless, right? So I got to get up on top and massage some of the stuff up here, but it's all welded up. A little bit of work to do right here. I'll probably just go ahead and weld that up and then just cut the corner right there and blend that in. But now you can see the look, right? So imagine it's all teal. It's going to be boxed, nice crisp corners. Looks just factory. Actually looks better than factory. All right, so when you're finishing something and you want to go ahead and, there's no facets, there's no grinding marks at all. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Scotch-Brite just to do a really good, this does a really good job of just blending it. See that? So that really just kind of takes any imperfection and just makes it look really good. All right. So anyway, now you can see looks really good, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw the tunnel ram on, or the top plate on, the carburetors and the scoop, and just see how good it's going to look now. All right, so it's the first time that I've had the top plate and the carburetors on since I got it all blended. You can see, boy, she looks really good. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. Hey, let's throw the scoop on and see how it fits, right? No sense in making a separate video for it, right? Okay. That's a 468 right there. I'm getting ready to build. That's for my drag car. Let's go ahead and stick this on, and you can see the vision come to reality, right? Boy, it is hard to be humble when you're as good as I am. Right? Now obviously it's not bolted on, just set it in place, but you can see that's how it's going to look, right? And that is why I cut the cowl out, to give plenty of room, etc. So that is going to look really badass. Sticking out of the hood just enough to where the top of the butterflies will be visible when out of the hood. I might go ahead and raise it up another inch, but I doubt it, but I really like that look. So now you can see the payoff, right? I could have done the easy way out and just said, oh, we'll take the top plate out and da-da-da-da, but you know, hey, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So again, badass. Like, follow, and share. All right, so now I'm painting the cowl that I had modified, if you remember seeing the videos on that. And then I had that little run right down here. I went ahead and sanded it and got it ready. So I'm just gonna, you know, the biggest thing about painting, you don't want to go really slow with it, and you just want to get a 50% overlap. This is just a cheap gun, but obviously you can tell it sprays really good. And I did a hard line just for my primer, but I'm gonna blend it, that way you don't see any paint lines. Then we're going to get down here where I had my little run. And then we're going to come back here where I've got my parts hanging. And I'm going to paint them. Steering shaft, the carburetor spacer plates, I want them to match, right? All right, and so you just gotta, the whole idea here is you don't want to bury it with paint. You know, just take your time. You get it by coats, not by trying to get everything done, you know, at one time. That's the harmonic balancer bolt. Man, attention to detail. This is a steering shaft for the Bronco, right? Okay. That's the front end cover for the Dana 60. I painted it before when it was going to be red, and I had a little too much red bleeding when I changed it over to teal. So again, not a lot of coats, okay? Or not a lot of application at one time. So I'm gonna let it sit for about 15 minutes, let it get good and tacky. You can see up here I got some areas I gotta hit, right? Okay. Now we're going to let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, and then I'll hit everything again. All right, so this is the last coat, and then should be ready to, she's done. Now you see, the way I blended it is I did a little bit of pressure and then I went full gun and then just a little bit of pressure. And that just helps the blend, you know. So if you're ever having to blend paint, I mean, that's the best way. I mean, if it's old paint, you know, you buff it as much as you can, but then, you know, as you go into the old panel, whatever, you just kind of fade it. You just go to light pressure, light pressure, light pressure, and that's the best way to blend. At least it's worked for me. All right, now you can see the finished product, right? So I went ahead and cut the cowl out. I boxed it in using the brake. I went ahead and got it welded in and blended in and painted so it looks just like factory. It looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and put the scoop on so you can see what it's going to look like. So I have a bug catcher type scoop. The butterflies and everything is going to work. Right? So that's what she's going to look like. Now you can see why I wanted to use this style catcher. It looks really good. The butterflies are actually going to work with the linkage that I have. So again, you know, everything in this shop is done by me, and in all my videos I end the same way. I have the only YouTube channel in the United States where I do everything myself. I do my own engines, I do my own body work, I build my own cages, do my own interior, I do it all. There's nothing that leaves this shop. You'll never see a video where I say, oh, I'm going to go take my car here to get work done. Everything is done in-house. So, you know, a lot of guys have different channels, they specialize in that. Hey, that's great. They're really good at the one thing that they do. Well, I'm good at everything that I do. So, yeah, just check it out. Any questions, hit me up.